Hello and welcome to XOMO. My name is Mo and I'm a professional tarot reader and an actor. And as you can see from today's title, we're doing a pick a card reading based around the full moon in Cancer, which is going to be happening on January 17th around 3:48 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, this is going to be a rather, it's not, I was going to say it's going to be a rather quick one, but that's not the truth because like the divine was sending out like a lot of oracle cards. So like usually I just get like one or two, but we actually have three for each pile that flew out today. But a lot of the energies are just going to be about because we have, the sun is in Capricorn, you know what I mean? The sun is going to be in Capricorn until the 19th. Where it transitions into Aquarius energy, but the full moon is going to be in Cancer. You know what I mean? So we kind of have the opposition going there about like what our ego is doing and what are the actionable items, you know what I mean, in the material world? Like what are we doing to make our dreams come true? But also, you know what I mean, what do we feel internally? What is our subconscious telling us, and what are our needs and our feelings need, and also around our homes, you know what I mean? What are the needs there? And just kind of like balancing those two energies, right? Not to mention that Venus is also in retrograde. Mercury is in retrograde. Mercury went into retrograde on the 14th. So there's a lot of like astrological things going on, and there's a lot of energy going around, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to tell you too much about that, you know what I mean? I'll probably might jump into that as we do the pick a card reading. But let's get into the disclaimer so I can send you over to your pick a cards. Right? My disclaimer, yes, I am not a fortune teller. I am just a tarot reader. My reading should work as a confirmation of the actual energy that you are already working with. This should confirm your intuition and not tell you anything crazy or out of this world, you know what I mean, that you've never heard of, right? If you don't feel like you like anything that comes out of this reading, you're not, you know what I mean, you're not fated to that future. It's just a current interpretation. It's my current interpretation of the present energy operating, you know what I mean, in our present lives at this present moment. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're not fated to anything. Like the divine has all given us our personal will, and that's the most powerful thing that any of us possess, right? But without further ado, let's head right on over to the pick a card selection. Hello and welcome to your card selection. To help you pick a card with your intuition and not just your physical eye, I suggest you find yourself in a relaxed position. This is by releasing any stress you have in your temples, your jaw, your shoulders, your belly, your hips, kneecaps, feet, so on and so forth. Yes, making sure that you're grounded, and start taking some meditative breaths, inhaling and exhaling. I'm sorry if you hear any snores in the background. It's just my puppy sleeping. But yes, so what I suggest that you do in order to pick your pile is focus on each pile of cards and then on the subsequent crystals that lie on top of each pile of cards, inhaling and exhaling as you focus on each one. Whichever pile, inhaling and exhaling as you focus on each one. Whichever pile feels like a vibrational match with where you currently are between the cards and the crystal, that is usually the pile that is meant for you. If you feel like you resonate with more than one pile, that's because there is usually an additional message waiting for you. Alrighty, this is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, and this is pile number 3. Okie dokie. You can find the timestamps for each pile down in the description bar or in the comment section. I'll meet you over at your pile. Hello, pile number 1, and welcome to your pick a card reading. And I mean, so if you've been here before, you kind of know how my readings are going to go, but I'm just going to tell you first off what crystal you chose. You chose the Chrysocolla crystal. Again, this crystal is very good for like, it has healing properties and it has a lot to do with the mental stasis. You know what I mean? So if you feel like any feelings of like isolation, guilt, or shame, this crystal is really good for like cleansing those energies, purging those, and also inviting like warm and inviting, enthusiastic, and healthy energies, and putting those energies in its place, right? So how this reading is going to work, this pile specifically has 2 Moonology cards. It has another card, another Oracle card from the Starseed Oracle deck. But we're actually going to be starting off with 3 cards from the Tarot of the Divine, which is just going to be the overall, this will be the overall overview of what the full moon in Cancer is bringing to the surface and maybe what the next 2 weeks of your life are going to look like. And then, as always, I'm just going to pull some clarifiers and get you some additional messages using the Modern Witch Tarot deck. Yes? But without further ado, let's see what you have. Okay. Okay, so what's stopping you from taking care of yourself? Yeah, this is very much, the last card that you have is the Queen of Cups. This is very much like Pisces and Cancer energy. You know what I mean? But before that, you have the Lover's card in reverse and the Seven of Wands. This is just telling me that you might have some type of, this might be a mental barrier. We don't have any mental cards here, but I'm kind of sensing it's a mental barrier because there's the decision you need to make. Like, who are you choosing before you choose yourself, right? I'm getting like the Seven of Wands. It's just telling me that there are all these different reasons that you find, or all these different excuses that you find. You know what I mean? I got to do this. You know what I mean? I got to do this for my family. I got to do this for my job. I got to do this for my boyfriend. I got to do this for the dog. So on and so forth. You know what I mean? And you're just like creating a barrier around your self-care and what it is that you need to nurture your emotional side. You know what I mean? What it is, and they're telling me so many things right now. And then also to like revamp and to redecorate your home. This is only going to resonate with a couple of people. You know what I mean? You know what I say, y'all. If it don't apply, let it fly. Right? So yeah, so there might be a little bit of advice about just like, you know, like revamping your home, moving some furniture around, looking into feng shui, you know, getting to those like artistic projects, maybe hanging paintings or buying some new, I don't know, some decor. If that resonates, let it resonate. You know what I mean? But yeah, but just with this Lover card and this Lover's card in reverse, I'm just really hearing you're not choosing yourself first. Like, choose yourself first. We have always got to choose ourselves first before we choose anybody else. Yeah? But I'm going to go ahead and get you some clarifiers. What else do we want pile number 1 to know? Please and thank you. What other messages do we have for pile number 1? Any additional messages or insights or anything that we just want to put on the radar for pile number 1, please and thank you. Okay. Oh my gosh, these cards are looking... Are you a little bit of a workhorse? And then like, this isn't even exactly the message of these cards, right? But just what I'm getting like in totality, right, is that like I get like if you feel like that you do not work hard, your manifestations will not come to you. That's kind of what the energy is saying to me, right? You feel like you're not gonna complete your goal. You're not gonna cross the finish line. You're not gonna prove yourself. You're not gonna feel worthy. You know what I mean? Unless you work yourself to the bone. You're not gonna receive your happily ever after. You're not gonna receive your 10 of coins. You're not gonna have a happy house and a happy home unless you work yourself to the bone, right? And this isn't saying that you shouldn't be working hard, or you shouldn't be taking like your work or your studies or whatever this craft or workplace is that you're trying to master seriously. You do need to take it seriously, you know what I mean? But like that isn't more important than your self-care, baby. You know what I mean? It isn't more important than handling. Then we have the moon card in reverse at the bottom of the deck. You know what I mean? So this is like deep. This is internal. This is subconscious. You know what I mean? What are the subconscious what are like some of the subconscious messagings that you have? You know what I mean? That tell you have to work yourself to the bone before, you know what I mean? Before you can take a bubble bath, before you can go on a vacation, you know what I mean? Before you can treat yourself. There's something about you like, and then it's so funny. It's so interesting because I'm getting that like, even when you do get to the point where it's time to take care of yourself, let's say that like your thing is like, if I work really hard this week and I accomplish all of my goals and all of my tasks, when Saturday comes around, that's when I can kick back a little bit, right? That's when I can lay off. That's when I can enjoy a glass of wine. But like just the energy that I'm getting, and I'm feeling exhausted now just thinking about it. Just the energy that I'm getting is that like when you get there, when all of your goals are exhausted, when all of your goals are accomplished, I'm sorry, that you are so exhausted that you low-key can't even really enjoy the glass of wine anymore. Like you just take a nap, like you just go to sleep, like you just rest. You know what I mean? And what they're asking you is like, what if you can take care of yourself first? What if your meditation, maybe not having a glass of wine in the first thing in the morning, you know what I mean? But what is a way that you can take care of your emotional self? Maybe this is cooking yourself a really nice meal. You know what I mean? Maybe this is meditating. Maybe this is going to a nature walk. Going for a nature walk. You know what I mean? What is it that fills up your emotional cup, and how can you care and nurture and mother yourself in your inner child for some of us, right? How do we do that before we log on to work? And this is like, I'm not saying that this is completely realistic for everybody, but if you can, because one of the things that I do is that like, I don't like talking to anybody. I don't like talking to anybody before noon. Before noon, I don't want to talk to anybody on the phone. I don't want to pay attention to any of my text messages. If I can help it, I don't even want to look at my email inbox before noon. You know what I mean? Because just those first couple of hours, and this is a privilege of having my own business, you know what I mean? So like, make it fit, or like, maybe it's before 9, maybe it's before 10 for you. You know what I mean? But that's just something I do for my sanity. Like, my day goes so much better when I just hold off all social interactions until about noon, right? Where the first 3 to 4 hours of my day, it's cooking, it's cleaning, it's meditating, you know what I mean? And it's getting myself in order, right? That's just an example. Like, make it fit for you, right? But there's also, I feel like I got that covered, but what is this? What is this? Can I just get clarification on these two cards? Because I feel like these two cards are trying to tell me something else. Can I get clarification on these two? Can I get clarifications on these two cards? You're not looking for new habits. You're not looking for new habits. You're not looking for new habits. Again, it's that fiery energy. This is the way that things have worked for me. This is the way that things have always worked. So you're not looking for something else. When it comes time to look for something else, all you see are like these mental blocks. All you see are these mental blocks as to why what you have always done has always worked. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that like you working yourself to the bone isn't working, but it's just not working for all areas of your life. You know what I mean? This is really about you like doing something else for an area of your life that feels neglected, that feels like you haven't adopted a new habit, where you have like really low quality like self-care habits. You know what I mean? And then having the strength and trusting and believing that you need and deserve something better. Yeah. And then also the confidence that if you deviate from this way of operating when it comes to your work life, when it comes to your career, when it comes to your material manifestations, and even something about like generational wealth or like building a house and a home, that it's going to come to you either way. That this is yours and you are going to receive it because you work so hard. You know what I mean? I'm not getting that like your work style is going to waver, you know what I mean? Just because you decide to meditate for 15 minutes when you wake up instead of hopping on your phone. that like even kind of sounds ridiculous. And I'm kind of sensing that you have like anxiety about changing things, or what it is that you really want not coming to you. I'm getting that it's going to come to you either way. But why neglect your emotional needs? Why not form new and healthier emotional habits in the meantime? You know what I mean? You can have it all. You can have it all. Right? So, and just with this Knight of Swords in reverse, don't be afraid to learn new things, to take advice from somebody, to have a conversation, maybe with a therapist, maybe with your friend that you know is really good with their self-care practices. You know what I mean? Because just the Knight of Swords, just the Knight of Swords in reverse, it's like you got to look for something else in order for it to come in. Yeah, but let's get into your Oracle cards. Look at this. Okay, this feels like this Starseed Oracle deck, it's been coming through with all of my like readings. Like it'll just come through and like throw something else completely on the table. And it always feels like it's connected to something else. But you have 2 Moonology cards, and let me read these for you. You have New Moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on your side. Again, like I was saying, I'm not sure if you can read that. Luck is on your side. So again, like I was saying, you're a lucky girl. What's coming to you is going to come to you either way. Either way. Whatever is coming your way, it looks set to put a smile on your face. The new moon in Sagittarius can mark the restart of fun after a period of feeling low. The energy is adventurous and even willing to take a few risks, but be careful. You don't bet the farm on something here, as the Wheel of Fortune is still spinning. This card is about exploring life metaphorically, by exchanging big ideas with others or just thinking about your own philosophies. Perhaps it's time to change your mind about something important. It can also signal that a trip away is coming up, if that's something you've been working to achieve. But overall, the message of this card is that whatever happens next will be some sort of a gift, even if it simply means widening your worldview. The teaching. Sagittarius is the sign of fun, travel, exploration, and the great cosmic quest. It's the sign of big ideas. Its energy is expansive, upbeat, lucky, and divine. The new moon in Sagittarius exudes all of this, as does this card whenever you draw it. Nothing is set in stone with Sagittarius, and an optimistic energy could attract all manner of good things if you tap into the energy by expecting the best. Yes? Okay. The next one that you have is expect powerful change. New moon and eclipse. New moon eclipse. So, again, like, you adjusting your self-care habits and finding a way to take care of yourself and not work yourself to the bone. It's just like, I'm just getting that it's going to set your year up right. This is the first full moon of the year, just so we're clear. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know, but I'm just really getting that it's really going to set you up on the right path. You know what I mean? To have everything that you want. New moon eclipse. Okay. Expect powerful change. If you want affirmation that you can achieve your dreams and get the desired outcome in the situation you're asking about, then this is it. This is a card of beginnings, and there are powerful energies at work. But be prepared. It could be quite a ride, and events now could even be jarring and uncomfortable. However, any new directions you take will always lead somewhere better than where you are at the moment. Whatever is happening now is happening for a reason you'll appreciate later on. A new portal is opening up, and all you have to do is to have the courage to forget about the past and to move through it. You're being put back on the right path. There is nothing to fear. The teaching. The new moon eclipse are among the most exciting astrological events. they herald a complete change of pace. It's as though you're headed in one direction, probably being guided by your ego, and then here comes the divine, the goddess, or spirit to turn you, instead to face the direction you actually need to go. Regardless of whether or not there's a new moon eclipse happening when you pull this card, it's a powerful affirmation of positive turnarounds. Yes, let this energy guide you, friend, because again, I'm just getting that it's like, it's going to be giving you what it needs to give. It's going to be giving you what it needs to give. Now this, again, it feels like it's connected to something else, but I'll let you be the judge of that. This says, I'm sorry. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. We are living in divisive times. When we're hurt and triggered, when we are hurt and triggered, we tend to see things as a personal attack rather than an opportunity for healing. If we're to find true peace and unity, we need to drop our defenses and to see things outside of right and wrong. As souls, we intrinsically remember unity and yearn for it here on earth. Perhaps this is why we feel so painful when we experience the opposite. But it's crucial to remember that we can't simply bypass reality and pretend that unity, love, and forgiveness are already here. This is one of the greatest challenges for starseeds. To bring about unity, we must first acknowledge the ways in which both we and the world have been divisive, personally, ancestrally, and collectively. The shadows, hate, wounds, separation, severing, wrongs, and sadness. I feel like this was in the last pick-a-card reading. You may be called to explore how you, your ancestors, or your society have, consciously or unconsciously, inflicted pain on others. To find a way to drop the armor around your heart and to see things as they truly are for all people. To say I'm sorry with an open heart and to mean it. To be a part of the healing rather than the perpetuation of inherited conflict or oppression. This isn't about blame. It's about unwinding the patterning that got us here. You may be called to devote your time to causes you believe in or to do healing work on your ancestral line. And then the journaling or meditation question is, how are you being called to drop your defenses and to unwind past wrongs? Yes, I'm pretty sure this was in the new moon. I'm pretty sure this card was, I just feel like this card was definitely in the new moon and Capricorn reading. You know what I mean? So if you got this message again, this just might be something that isn't quite, this stuff isn't quite settled. Not quite yet anyhow. You know what I mean? So pay attention to that if you got that card again. And if not, let that card hit you how it's supposed to hit you, right? But that's all I have for you, my love. Don't forget, I am open for private readings over at momagics.com. You know what I mean? Like this comment if you found value out of it. Share it with your friends so that more people can receive some of these messages. Comment if you'd want to know whenever I'm uploading new spiritual content, or if you want to know when I upload new pick-a-card readings. You know, I do this all the time. I do this like twice a month around new moons and full moons. And last but not least, let me know what resonated down in the comment section. But that's all I have for you, my love. Until next time, this is XOMO. Bye. Hello, pal number 2, and welcome to your pick-a-card reading. If you chose pal number 2, you chose, I don't even know what this crystal is, if I'm being completely honest. It might be like a citrine quartz. It might be like an orange holographic. I think it's quartz something, but it's also like orange. If you think you know, please let me know. But I've had this crystal for quite some time, and I have long forgotten. But it helps me, encourage me to be the greatest and most awesome version of myself. You know what I mean? But like using my spiritual energies as the source for that, like connecting to my spiritual energy and like bringing about the manifestations in my life that I want to happen. Yeah. But about this reading, so y'all know as always, if you're new here, hey, if you're returning, you know that I have like three cards from the Tarot of the Divine, you know, letting you know what the full moon energy is bringing into your life, and maybe what the next 2 weeks are going to be looking like for you. And then I also have, again, like a lot of oracle cards were coming out, so I think there's just like a lot that the divine wants to say using these oracle cards. This pile has 2 cards from the Starseed Oracle deck, and then also 1 card from the Moonology Oracle deck. Yeah, but without further ado, let's see what we have for you. Okay. So just what I'm getting right off the bat, it's like, what I'm hearing is just like looking at what you have to gain by, and this is like looking at what you have to gain by expressing ugly emotions or unexciting emotions within your relationships. These could be romantic, these could be platonic, these could be like career, colleagues, work relationships, or familial relationships. But you have the Ace of Coins and you have the Nine of Coins. Right? And I'm just really getting that there is something new that you can do. This may be new for you, or this could be a new idea that needs to be expressed, or something new that needs to be done. And this is like formulating a healthy habit. Like it's like this is actually like really healthy for you, and I'm just getting that it's going to be really healthy for you to upset some people. It's like I don't get it. Like it's like, but it's not meant for me to get, right? It's going to be good for you to upset some people, or maybe just to express some things, some unsavory emotions with the people that are around you. Because like, I'm a firm believer that sometimes people's feelings need to be hurt. Excuse me. Sometimes people's feelings need to be hurt, because when we allow people to have hurt feelings, you know what I mean? And not in a malicious or like sinister or like an antagonistic type of way, right? But this is just telling somebody, you know, something that may make the bond or the relationship a little uncomfortable. But in doing that, we actually strengthen the bond because we can share all of ourselves, right? We don't need to just be like pretty and nice and fun and flirtatious all the time. When we can actually like come to people with things that are unsavory, that are kind of ugly, that are not the happiest, you know, most exciting parts of life, you know what I mean? That creates an opportunity for both of us to grow. Yeah. So really just what I'm getting is that there's something that you can do that's going to upset these people in your life at first. It's going to upset them at first, but really what it's doing, it's you investing in the longevity of the relationship. Because you trying to fake the funk, because here's what this is. The Three of Cups, it's the card of celebration, but also like, it's the card of celebration, people coming together to pour emotional energy into them, right? And my tarot teacher, she said that a euphemism, or like a metaphor for the Three of Cups in reverse is like when you go out to a party and you're hanging out with your friends, you know what I mean? And you get tired around like 9 or 10 o'clock. And instead of going home at 9 or 10 o'clock when you get tired, you stay until midnight or like 1 a.m., you know what I mean? Because you didn't want to let people down. You didn't want to be the first person to go home. You didn't want to interrupt the vibe. But the whole time, you're sitting in the corner, like drained of energy, not really feeling the vibe for 2 to 3 hours. Where if you just would have went home, you'd be like, hey, y'all, I'm not feeling good. Or, hey, y'all, I'm feeling tired. I'm going to head out. Had you just went home, you know what I mean? Everybody wouldn't have been able to, like, enjoy their night. But now you're sitting around for all this extra time throwing funky energy around, right? Right? But let's see what the cards have to say. That's just a metaphor. Again, if it don't apply, let it fly. And that's with everything in my readings, right? But let me get you, what clarifications do we have for pile number 2? What other insights do we want pile number 2 to have? Please and thank you. What is it that we want to put on their radar? Please and thank you. Additional messages. Additional messages for pile number 2. Additional messages for pile number 2. Please and thank you. This is so funny. Additional messages for pile number 2. funny. Okay. You might have, if you were resonating with pile number 1, go back and watch pile number 1. Because we have 3 cards that are repeating here already. Additional messages for pile number 2, please and thank you. I'm going to leave that sideways. Additional messages for pile number 2. And let me just get one more. What is this Queen of Swords looking at? Okay. This is so funny. Because pile number 1, this was the first card that they got as well. The World card in reverse. And then there's this like this back and forth energy. We have this back and forth energy. There's all this back and forth energy here. And then like this, and like the way that it's coming to me is that like you go back and forth. You go back and forth. Should I say something? Should I not say something? Do they love me? Do they love me not? I'm gonna speak up. I'm not gonna speak up. You fill in the blank. XXX, YYY, AAA, BBB. You know what I mean? And that's really, and it's like I can't even like sense the cards because there's all this like mental stress and anxiety about going back and forth, and that's what we need to relinquish, right? We need to relinquish the mental stress and the mental energy of like going, like I kind of need to like cleanse because it's stressful. You know what I mean? It's annoying. You know what I mean? It's like it feels stuck. The energy really feels stuck. You know what I mean? The energy really feels stuck. And the thing is, like, I'm right with you. Like, because this is, like, the thing is, like, I just did a reading before I got on here, and it was already talking about some of this energy and like, feeling stuck mentally between these 2 options. You know what I mean? But, yeah, like, can y'all help me divine this message, please? Yeah, they said go slow. Okay, so, yeah, the World card in reverse. You think something is going to happen, but it's not going to happen. It's not it. Or you're even thinking about like destroying. Like if you feel like if you do this thing, if you break it down to these people, you feel like you're going to destroy the future of this thing you've invested in, and it feels beautiful. The roses in this are really jumping out to me. It's like some beautiful orchard. It's some beautiful orchard. You know what I mean? It's some relationship. It's some connection that you love that has grown. You know what I mean? And it's so valuable. You know what I mean? And you don't want to be the person, and you don't want to be the person to come into, and then this, again, this is like a funky metaphor, but roll with me, right? You don't want to be the person to come in and then like spray the garden down with herbicide or like pesticide, right? But you can tell that there are like gnats and like bugs growing in this garden, and something needs to be done about it, right? So either you got to come through with like some ammonia, some vinegar, some lemon juice to make the environment a little sour, just a little toxic. You know what I mean? But it's for the longevity. You know what I mean? It's for the longevity of the garden. It's for the longevity of the orchard. You know what I mean? Because like, unless you do that, y'all are just going to be stuck in this emotional situation where people don't really know what's going on. It feels weird. It feels iffy. It was like, girl, what's like, why she got an attitude? Why do I feel like the energy's funky between us, right? And you know, and this has been bugging you for quite some time, but you've been avoiding doing it because I'm also getting that it may not be clear. It may not be clear. You may not exactly know like what the issue is. The issue may not be clear as day, but you know that you need to speak up. You need to speak up and say something. You know what I mean? Something needs to be said. Even if you don't know like why the energy has gone awry, just you coming to the room, just you coming to the group and saying, hey, things feel weird. Does anybody else feel weird? It's felt weird for me for a while. And just naming the thing and calling the thing out can get you out of this back and forth energy, this mental anguish, this mental stuckness. You know what I mean? And keep you moving. Right? 7 of Pentacles. This is like, you might know. But okay, so this 7 of Pentacles is coming to me a little differently. Because usually the Seven of Pentacles, it's about looking at the history, but we're looking at the history alone, right? This girl here, she's looking at, they're really using this plant metaphor. They're really driving this home, right? She's looking at these plants and these flowers and this aloe, and she's like, this plant has grown in this way, and it has grown this way because this is what I was doing. You know what I mean? But I'm hearing that you need to have the Seven of Pentacles process with somebody else as well. Like, you need to pull somebody else into this. It was like, here's what I've been doing. Here's what I've been feeling and sensing. What about you? What has your action plan been? What has changed with you? What have you been sensing and feeling? You know what I mean? So y'all can come together and figuring out how are we gonna collectively take care? How are we gonna collectively take care of this rose garden? Yeah. Because right now, and then here's the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is so weird. And then the Queen of Wands in reverse. This is kind of giving me like mean girl energy. Right off the bat, it's like mean girl energy. And then it's like, one end, it's mean girl, like toxic, like catty, like bitchy energy on the low. But the other side, it's like, and then this cat in this image, it's in reverse. But this cat in this image is really jumping out to me, but it's like a skittish cat. It's like a cat it's not a very confident cat. It's like a cat that's like walking on eggshells. It's like the cat doesn't know what to do. The cat doesn't want to purr. It doesn't want to meow. It doesn't want to roar. You know what I mean? The cat is kind of like tiptoeing all over the place, and it doesn't know where to go. Right? And then all of this, this image is so... The Six of Wands, it came out sideways and I decided to leave it sideways because I'm getting that y'all hype each other up, that you support each other, and when y'all do that, it's genuine, right? You do that and it's genuine, but there's some color. There's some color of the communication that isn't 100% honest because y'all aren't 100% communicating. You aren't 100% communicating all of your feelings. Again, you're only expressing the good stuff. You're only expressing the happy. You're only expressing the positive, the love and light, right? But when it comes to this other energy that you don't quite know how to pin, you're leaving that buried and you don't know, and you're not bringing it up, even though you should, right? And then this mean girl, and then this sideways energy, it's like in the spread, it's all behind the Queen of Swords. This is the Lady of Truth. But the Lady of Truth is hiding all this stuff that she's feeling. You know what I mean? So they're saying, and then it's, because you have to disrupt the structure. And then it's funny because we have the Hierophant here. And this is just telling me that you need to disrupt the structure. The structure, the order, the way that things have been. The Queen of Swords needs to communicate all of those things that I was talking about, right? She needs to communicate all of those things and kind of break down the structure. I'm not getting, the Tower card isn't here, but I'm kind of getting Tower card like vibes. She needs to break down the structure, the things that have been in place and long term, and then it's a 5, right? It's a 5. The energy of 5, it's like change. It's like upsets and imbalances, right? It's like additions, right? And this is, the Hierophant is ruled by the number 5. But the number 5 in numerology, it's like additions and changes. So as things get better, they also get worse. As things get worse, we are also presented with new blessings, with new challenges, with new things to look forward to, right? So it's just saying that like the structure of this relationship needs to change. And it's going to feel difficult. We have I didn't even notice this. We have the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. It's going to feel difficult. It might feel a little prickly. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard getting through this rough patch, but it's truly for the better. You know what I mean? Everything is fine. There's 2 Ten of Swords in this deck, and this card comes out in very specific situations. And it's usually when something needs to die, something needs to end, some type of healing and recovery needs to occur. And it's hard and it's difficult, but everything is fine. Everything is fine. Like y'all will see another day. Y'all will see another day. The relationship will come together again. And even if it don't, you'll feel better. You'll feel better at the end of it. Yeah. Let's get into these oracle cards. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start with this Moonology card. We have look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma? Child, yes they are. Fretting over the minutiae, I could be saying that wrong, minutiae can be counterproductive. Or perhaps you're being all talk and no action. This card is a reminder that while it is good to think things through, sometimes you need to take a step back and to look at the bigger picture. What do you then see? What do you then see about your current situation? What's the most positive thought that you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't yet have exactly what you want. This card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with uncertainty on this journey called life. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. Attune to the moon. Take time out for a mini break or an adventure. Additional meanings for this card. This situation may have come around because you've been distracted. Be confident, without being overconfident, to win the day. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time. Find a balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. The teaching. The full moon in Sagittarius is a time when we are reminded that life is an adventure and there's a big wide world to see beyond our backyard. It's about having fun and being prepared to sail into uncharted territory. It's about big ideas versus the details. No matter when you draw this card, it encourages you to take a look at the bigger picture. Yes? Yes? Okay, and then we have these two cards, right? And then I just got to tell you this because, like, the guys are really bugging me. Like, if you have a spiritual practice, do a cleansing. Do a cleansing. Just do a cleansing. If you like, if y'all want me, and that's the next thing I was gonna do anyway, so it's coming up. You know what I mean? Take a spiritual cleansing bath if you can. If y'all want me to do a video on what I do and how you can do it, let me know down in the comment section. And maybe I'll speed up the process a little faster. But please do a spiritual cleansing and really just purge this mental anxiety, this mental anguish away from you and center yourself in being a being of unconditional love. Yes? Yes? Okay, let's get into these cards. I'm going to read this one first. Let me get some water. So you have Child of the Cosmos. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. There's a mysterious force that governs all of life. An intelligence that tells flowers when to bloom and the tides and seasons when to come and go. That intelligence is within you too. It was there before you drew your first breath, and it will be there well beyond your last. It's the part of you that informed every cell what to do when you were in your mother's womb. It's harder to resist this force than it is to surrender to it. Because Earth is a planet of polarity and free will, it's easy to forget that this intelligence exists within us. So often we become disconnected from this pulse of life and fall into a pattern of believing that we're separate, or feeling that we need to go it alone. We can feel so isolated. And as if we need to figure things out for ourselves, to rely on our own strength. You are being called to remember the intelligence that's within each and every one of your cells. To remember that you are a precious child of a loving, gentle universe. That you have access to all of the intelligence, wisdom, strength, flow, and qualities that there ever were, are, and will be. And to remember that if flowers know exactly when and how to bloom, then you do too. And your journaling or meditation prompt is, how can you surrender more deeply to the intelligent flow of life? Yes. Let me move on to other to the other one. And you also have like this like lost lands. Lost lands. Like I low-key don't like this. Like I don't know about this full moon, but this full moon energy is powerful because like the whole day I've been channeling this whole channeling process, and I'm just rambling now, but this whole channeling process, I don't even feel like I'm here, girl. I don't even feel like I'm here. But let me get you into this other card. Lost lands. Soul memories and gifts. You have done this before. The world is far more ancient than our documented history suggests. As souls, many of us have experienced ancient eras on this planet that were much more advanced than ours today. As we begin to remember these times, the rememberings and gifts can come flooding back. At this stage in Earth's timeline, we need the wisdom of the ancients to survive as a species. You're being called to connect with the lost wisdom of your own soul. If you feel guided to make change in your life, to step into a new career path, birth a creation, or to bring an idea to life but feel unprepared, this card is calling you to consider that you have done this before. And I'm hearing just stepping into that new, like stepping in the direction of that new situation or that new energy that you need to put out there, right? Perhaps your soul has wisdom beyond what your lifespan can imagine. Perhaps the intuitive hits and ideas you are receiving are divinely guided. Perhaps you've been preparing for this time. Some think that the lost lands exist in the past. Others believe they exist today in a different dimension. I believe these ancient lands also exist in the souls of those who experience them. If this card comes to you, perhaps the wisdom of lost lands such as Lemuria, Atlantis, and Avalon exist within you. And through surrendering to the intelligence of your soul, you can unlock the seeds of these ancient lands so we can all learn from our mistakes and usher in a new age. And here's your starseed activation. Oh, so this is kind of like a mantra. So you can repeat this a couple of times. Maybe say it before you go to bed tonight. You know what I mean? Write it down if you can. But I unlock any forgotten wisdom and soul gifts from lifetimes past. Yes, my friend. Yes, 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 yes. I'm really rooting for you to really like get to the bottom of the situation and to change the energetic pattern that we have, because you really do have something better coming your way. We just got to trust in the divine that us expressing these things that may not be clear, these things that we have anxieties about, these things that we may not even have all the answers to, you know what I mean? That we can actually like just express ourselves and move from a place of love and gratitude and like just being our full human selves, because we don't need to know all the answers, right? But we just need to, what is it? What are we saying? We just need to express what's on our heart right now. If we just express what's on our heart, you know what I mean? That's really, and being present about it, right? Not anticipating what people are going to say and not even thinking about the past. You know, it's like, I have no reason. Everything has been good in the past. Why would I throw this wrench into it now, right? But as long as we're just honest and truthful with what we are feeling in the present and expressing that, that's all we really need to move through whatever situation we're going through, yeah? But that's all I have for you, my love. Please like this video if you find any value in it. You can even share this video with your families, friends, coworkers, whoever. You know what I mean? Just so more of these messages can reach whoever may need them. Leave me a comment down in the comment section to let me know what resonated. And I am open and available for private readings. Run over to momagics.com to get onto my booking calendar, you know, just so I can probably get you some more specific information, right? Subscribe if you want to know when I do more pick a card readings, because I do this every new moon and every full moon, girl. And if you also want to tap into other spiritual content that I may upload, you know what I mean? That's the way to do it as well. Excuse me. But that's all I have for you, my friend. Until next time, this is XOMO. Bye. Holla. Hello, pal number 3, and welcome to your pick a card reading. If you chose pal number 3, you chose the Rose Quartz Crystal. Good Judy, great for self-love. Uh-oh, I dropped her. Ooh, and she fell on my toe. That really hurt. Not me dropping it. Ciao. But yeah, really good for self-care, really good for boundaries, really good for self-love. Um, but if you've been here before, you know how I'm gonna do my readings. If you're new, what I do is I tell you how I'm gonna do the reading. So we have some oracle cards. This pal has 2 cards from the Moonology Oracle deck. We got 1 card from the Starseed Oracle. And we have 3 cards here from the Tarot of the Divine. And this is going to give us just the overview of what the full moon is bringing into your life specifically. And maybe some things that may be on your plate for the next 2 weeks. Yeah. And then as usual, like I'll get some more clarifications and insights using the Modern Witch Tarot deck. But let's hop right into it. Okay, so there's something, and then there's like, okay, so it's 2 things. Like I'm getting 2 images. I'm getting 2 images, right? Like what? And then they want me to read this. Okay, so one group of people who chose pal number 3. There is something that is exhausting you. There is something that is bringing your energy down. There is something that is holding you back and you need to burn it. You quite literally need to burn it. Maybe not literally burn it, but if you have a spiritual practice, I'm getting like maybe do some spell work. You know what I mean? Maybe even something simple as like writing it down, like whatever is this thing that is ailing you, that is exhausting you, that is draining your energy, writing it down on a piece of paper and burning it. And burn it outside. I'm hearing burn it outside, or like burn it far away from you, and take the ashes and bury them and just like leave it there, right? Because I'm really getting that there is something that needs to be destroyed and something that needs to be burned, right? The other group of you, it's not necessarily like you need to burn something. The other group of you, there's still something that's exhausting you. There's still something you that's like tiring you out and weighing your energy down. But this other group, you need to explore, and then it's like it's burning. There's still the fire is still here, but you need to become like a phoenix of the ashes, right? There's this version of you that quite literally needs to die. There's a version of you. And then so like I'm guessing that they're getting so specific with this pal number 3 girl. Like, so this version of you, like, if there are any like articles of clothing that are carrying any really heavy energy, maybe burn those articles of clothing. Again, I know this is getting like a little intense, but there's just a version of you that needs to burn, and you need to come out of it like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, right? The card that we have in the middle of this is the King of Wands. And they want me to read this. And I'm just going to read the whole thing. If it don't apply, let it fly. Take what resonates, right? But the King of Wands. The Phoenix. East Asia mythology. The King of Wands is a symbol of strength. The legend of the Phoenix spans many cultures. But in all of them, the fire bird represents nobility, rebirth, strength, and loyalty. Upright. Honesty, passion, leadership, charm, and flexibility. And then in reverse, it wasn't reversed in the spread, but they said to read it. Reversed, tyranny, a lack of harmony, weakness, and vitality. Yes, like erratic behavior. But what these 3 cards have, right? The 9 of Wands in reverse. This is a clear indication that something is scaring you. Something is frightening you. Something is drawing out your energy, tiring you out, exhausting you, right? And then it's like, the energy here isn't good. I really need to, like, this energy is not good. You, like, not to scare you, but maybe do a spiritual cleansing. If you're into that, you know what I mean? Burn some sage, take a spiritual bath. You know what I mean? Who is it? Bahati Life. She spells like spiritual cleansing things on her website. I'll link it down because I really need y'all to walk away with these resources. Or maybe even go to Yayo Botanica. on YouTube. I love her. She has awesome like spiritual resources and like tutorials on all things spiritual. So if I can also like find a video of hers on how to do a spiritual cleansing or a spiritual bath or any information like that, I'll leave a video link somewhere. Right, but there is something that is exhausting you and bringing your energy down. But this is just saying, with this card in reverse, it's like you're acting like it's not there. You're acting like it's not there. You're acting like you're not feeling exhausted, right? And that's when the King of Wands came in saying that you need to burn it. And then the sun is so bright, like, or maybe even cleansing it with like solar energy. You know what I mean? They like pile number 3 really do be giving me like, pile number 3 really be like working me, right? So like, so it's either you need to find some type of way to burn it. Using fire is going to be so powerful for you to like burn or cleanse or like release this energy. You know what I mean? But the King of Wands, he's also a very strong adventurer and somebody who goes on an exploration looking for something new. And what I'm getting, this feels so good. What I'm getting is you like rising up and like, not that you're going to become a new version of yourself or become this new person after this process is done, but you are just going to rise with so much. And then like the heart chakra, and then like the cobra, what is it? The cobra yoga position, and then the sphinx. There's just so much like power in your chest plate. Like get some sunlight, like go tanning, get some sunlight on your chest plate if you can. Right, but there's just, oh my gosh, I feel so good. This energy, I'm sorry. This energy just feels so good right now, and just the way that you are going to rise, because you're going on this new adventure. There is new adventure. There is fiery journey, exploration, expedition on the horizon for you, but you have really got to burn whatever this, like, you kind of got to go through an ego death. Like, we don't have the death card here, but you kind of got to go through an ego death so that you can go on this new journey. Because this is what is waiting for you. Like a new journey. It's a new beginning. You know what I mean? And your palette is going to be cleansed. Your palette is going to be fresh. It's going to feel renewed. And you're just going to have all the confidence in the world to go on this journey. And I really, 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 really want you to have this. Can we please get some more insight? How is like, I might need, yeah, let's get pile number 3 an action plan. How is like whatever, like what is pile number 3 to make this happen? Or what other insights does pile number 3 need to have just so we can put this on their radar, right? Because they like whatever this is, they need to put it behind them. Insights and action plan for pile number 3. Okay. So first you need to decide that you want something new. First you need to decide that you need to go on the journey. This is funny because okay. So first off, this is not going to be easy, right? But anything worth having is worth working for, and life is rarely easy. If life was easy, everybody would be happy, right? So first off, you have the Page of Wands. This is about being curious about what else life has to offer, is what I'm hearing. What else life has to offer? Just some angel numbers I was looking at. Look up 545, 5445, 454, 45, 54. Look up those angel numbers for you. I'm not sure what they mean, but look them up. Right? Page of Wands. This is being excited about the adventure, about something new coming in. Right? The 4 of Cups in reverse. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. King of Pentacles in reverse. Whatever is not working, this could be your career path. These could be the people that you're around. But whatever is not working, you got to decide that because I'm already getting that, like, it could really be the people that are around you. It could be the people that are around you or a career path. It's one of the two. But, like, I'm getting that you sit around and you complain about it. I hate this place. I hate being here. I feel stuck. I feel stagnant. I don't like it. 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 But if you don't like it, you have got to look for something else. Like, you quite literally have to replace it. You quite literally have to push this energy away, like push it off of your back. And it's like, I'm not doing that anymore, and look for something else. Right? That's quite literally what you have to do if you were so fed up and like you really don't like this energy, and it's not growing, your manifestations aren't coming to fruition, you're not climbing the ladder, it's not getting better, it's just not it. It's not it. So first, and then like this Two of Cups is telling me that you have got to share this, that you've got to share this with the people involved, that you've got to share this with the people involved, but also maybe enlist some help from your friends. Enlist some help from your friends. And I'm just sensing that this is like, that this is the complete opposite of anything you've ever done. That this is not your MO. This is usually not the way that you do things, but this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do at this point in your life. And you might already know this. You might already know that the way that you operate, that this old way of like thinking, this old way of operating, that you being stuck in this place is keeping you from being where you need to be. I'm really getting that your intuition, your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels, they've been nagging you. And you know this, but you just haven't done the work. You just haven't done the work. And then like your new future is blocked. You cannot see your new future. Like you might have an inkling of it. And then this moon card is just telling me that it's invisible. It's like dark. It's dark. You cannot see it because you got to complete this lesson. You got to complete this lesson. You got to complete this lesson, and you are not going to move on. You are not going to move on until you decide to value yourself first. Until you value yourself first, until you take care of your own emotions. Can I get some, like, because we have the Chariot card at the bottom of the deck, but can we get some clarification on this Queen of Cups, please? You have got to stop taking care of other people before you take care of yourself. That's a habit you need to relinquish. Or stop trying to make sure everybody else is good before you figure out that you're good. It's not it. It's not the move. It's not the move. And then that could be one thing of it. Okay. Because the other side, they want me to read my notebook. I've really been giving reading rainbow vibes as of late. They be like, pull out your notebook, pull out your notebook. I've been reading a lot of passages, and the thing I'm not gonna complain because like I'm good at it. Queen of Cups. This is Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups in reverse. Take what applies. If it don't apply, let it fly. Queen of Cups in reverse. Manipulative. Sells body for love. Will do whatever necessary to feel love. Insecure. Needs a lot of validation. I think this is gifts. Gifts. Oh, your intuitive gifts. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Gifts and path become foggy and unclear. Getting done up to receive attention. Mental illness, codependent, infidelity, lazy, daydreaming, helicopter mom, and clingy. Right? That could be how this... Okay. That could be how the energy is manifesting itself. That could be how the energy is manifesting itself, but in order, because we want the Queen of Wands to be upright, and they just want me to read that to you, just so that we can see, you know what I mean, what the potential is for the things that we want. Queen of Cups. This is the Queen of Cups. I feel like I said the Wands. But Queen of Cups upright, luxurious, surrounded by angels and children, grounded in her emotions and her intuition, motherly or wants to be a mother, sweet, kind, listens, attuned with what she's in tune with what isn't spoken, talks about her feelings and her emotions, physically affectionate, Pisces and Cancer energy, a counselor, a mother, a psychologist, a philosopher, and a healer. Intuitive or psychic. Ask you to nurture yourself, show that you care, and motherly love. Yes. This might be clingy energy, because with this Four of Pentacles on top of it as a clarifier, there's just some clingy energy here. But at the bottom of the deck, we have the Chariot card. Again, this is like this. This is all you just going on a new journey of self-discovery. I hear like Eat, Pray, Love, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. You know what I mean? Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. They're just giving all of me this good vibe. This like good vibe, like white woman on an exploration. You don't have to be a white woman, but the examples they're giving me are white women. I'm sorry, those are the examples that I have. You know what I mean? But you get what I'm saying. 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 But yeah, go listen to Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. Let that be your motto. Let that be your go-to song for a little bit of time. Yeah, let's get into your oracle cards. They actually want me to read this one first. Okay, so first off, you have Double Mission. Lightworker Starseed. Serve the world by being you. Lightworker starseeds are mission and purpose oriented. Many have the feeling that time is running out and there's something that they came here to do, to create, or to contribute. They're here to grow as souls individually. That's their individual mission. And also to contribute to the planet in some action-oriented way. That's their collective mission. Their collective mission is often answered through a career calling or by devoting their life to something bigger. Until they remember their collective mission, it can feel as if something's missing or that they're forgetting something important. It's common for lightworker starseeds to feel that they're different, and they may carry soul memories of being visible or sharing their voice. As such, they may protect themselves by dimming their light in order to fit in, or by spending time in some sort of closet, such as a spiritual closet. If you pull this card, you are being called to remember your collective mission. You are being called to remember your collective mission and to step into it more fully. You are being reminded that your role as a light worker is to light up the world with your presence. This doesn't have to be a great big thing or a decision that you need to make. You also don't need to have a great big plan. If you resonate with being a light worker, all you need to do is work out what lights you up, your passions and your joys, and to keep on doing that. When you trust and follow the simple path of things that light you up, and then lose yourself in the doing, you'll light up the world without even trying. And then your journaling or meditation prompt is, how can you serve the world by just being you? Yes? Yeggity, 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 yes? So you have two here, two Moonology Oracle cards. The first one I'm going to read is Full Moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in the way. Full Moon in Leo. Have you been letting your pride become an obstacle? Is the question you're asking based on your ego, or is it from your heart? Leo energy is all about the heart. Think of the big-hearted king of the jungle, the lion. Its energy is magnificent. Again, like that energy I was feeling, like that big, like bundles, hair in the wind, king of the jungle, lion king. I'm just really like, oh my gosh. Keys to the Kingdom. Listen to Keys to the Kingdom by Beyonce. Like Already and Keys to the Kingdom by Beyonce. Maybe listen to that whole album, The Gift by Beyonce, but just check out those two songs specifically. Its energy is magnificent, but when it's combined with the rush of the full moon, it can become over the top. This card may have come to you because you need to end a deadlock that has developed. This card may have come to you because you need to end a deadlock that has developed. More love and thoughts for the greater good are the solution to this dilemma. If you've not been doing as you would be done by lately, okay, this is the time to find a balance. This is a time to find a balance between your own needs and the needs of the people around you. This will help all of your relationships. Attune to the moon. Be magnificent without being plain too much. Additional meanings for this card. Self-esteem is good. Vanity is not. Everyone is equally important. Creative urges should be followed. Work some magic. A friendship may be ending now. The teaching. When the full moon comes into Leo, it can be a wonderfully bright time where people feel more confident to show the world their talents and assets. That's the upside of this lunation and of this card, no matter when you pull it. However, take note that the Leo full moon combination creates a sort of tension between your needs and the needs of people in your network. Leo full moon is a time to release pride. Again, like, hey y'all, I'm sorry, but my camera kicked out, my camera tapped out. So there's like 9 or 10 minutes of footage where I just don't have any video. I'm so sorry. Before I recognize, but what was I saying? I was like, yeah, so that full moon in Leo card, if it resonates, if it don't apply, let it fly. But if it resonates, let it resonate, please. But really what I'm feeling for you, it's less about you making room for other people, but it's you really stepping into your full potential. It's really you like becoming that girl. You know what I mean? You not being self-sacrificial. But again, if that card resonated with you with what it said, then take it. I'm not going to take that away from you. Let me get into your last card. You have the full moon in Virgo. You are enough. You are good enough, excuse me. You are good enough, full moon in Virgo. It's time to be really honest with yourself and understand what's led you to ask your question. Have you been humbled to the point of being self-effacing? Humility is good, but it can go too far. In drawing this card suggests you may be underrating yourself. You don't have to be flashy, just quietly certain that you are good enough. At the other end of the scale, you also need to honestly answer this question. Have you been too picky? The full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. Once you've been given them, it should be easier to see how you got where you are. Your next step should then be more obvious to you. Pay attention to the details. Hard work brings results. And then attune to the moon. Find a balance between the cosmic and the mundane in your daily life. Additional meanings for this card. Worrying too much will attract more things to worry about. Have you been overly critical? An apology may be in order. Stop second-guessing yourself. Raise your karma by doing something good for someone else. And then the teaching. The full moon in Virgo is a time to declutter your life, your home and your office. It's the time to sort what's good in your life from what's not serving you. It's also the time to clear out your energies via salt baths and meditations, and to practice getting more grounded by walking barefoot. No matter when you draw this card, it's a reminder that any time is a good time to start living a healthier life. Yes, pal number 3. That's all I have for you, my loves. Please thank your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels for allowing me to deliver these messages to you. Yes, please also thank my ancestors, spirit guides, and angels for helping me out. Let me know what resonates down in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video if you found value out of it. Share this video with your friends, family members, and coworkers, just so we can get these messages out to more people. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like these, right? I upload these videos about every 2 weeks whenever there's a new moon or a full moon. And then I also upload, sometimes sporadic spiritual content in between then. Yeah. Also, don't forget I am available for private readings over at momagics.com. You know what I mean? Head on over there to get onto my booking calendar, to maybe even find a travel size of the Modern Witch Tarot deck if you're into that. But yeah, that's all I have for you, friend. Y'all be blessed. Until next time, this is XOMO. Bye.